Hello everyone, this is Lisa Harden coming to you from the Stamping Zoo in a beautiful Boise, Idaho. I have today for you a little hack you might want to do, and it involves the Memento black ink. There's nothing wrong with the ink pad shown here. You can order this ink pad at thestampingzoo.com. Just hit the Shop Now tab. Actually, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so you can order these and thousands more paper crafting products from me simply again by going over to thestampingzoo.com and hitting the Shop Now tab. You can also see all about my events simply by clicking the More Description link or links at the attached to this video. Okay, so with that, let's talk about this ink hack. Lots of you are doing it. Lots of you probably haven't heard of it yet, so that's what I'm here for. This has been very helpful for me. Once I made this change and did this quick hack, I haven't gone back. Okay, so it's all about Memento ink and changing out the ink pad. We sell the Memento ink just like this, okay? It comes on a linen, well, it's kind of hard to see, of course, because it's black, but it's a linen and felt pad. That is different from the construction of our other ink pads, our classic Stampin' pads that are a foam ink pad. As you can imagine, with different materials, the ink attaches to the stamps and lays down on the paper a little bit differently depending on lots of things, including the material of the ink pad. I didn't even get out any white. There, we're going to use that for our demonstration. The shape is not important. It's just our basic white cardstock. Okay, so with that, I'm going to prepare the hack, all right? A bigger Memento ink pad for you that is foam-based, not felt and linen-based. Okay, so I will show at the end of this video, I will show you the links to these products, just 2 different products you need to purchase to make yourself a larger Memento ink pad. We are going to transform this uninked Stampin' pad into a large Memento pad. It will also be foam based, okay? And at the end, or as I finish this up, then I will show you the difference in how it stamps. Okay, so the product you're going to want to buy is the uninked Stampin' pad and craft ink. This is sold uninked for probably a couple different reasons. One is this is our white craft ink. It is a pigment-based ink. It dries out quicker, not super fast, but it dries out quicker than, again, these classic Stampin' pads with the water-based formulation. It's also very messy. Okay, you will find out when working with it. It's sticky and can really make a mess. So maybe it's sold separately as a bit of a double insurance that it doesn't get all over everything. Okay, so with that, you buy this totally uninked. Okay, it's confusing when you first purchase it because lots of times people will try and use it and then say this came to me and there's no ink on it. That's because this is here. It looks like the refill, and it is, but it's also to initially ink the ink pad. I have one off to the side that I already use with craft ink, so I am just going to keep this as an extra refill. What I want to ink this uninked pad with is our Memento ink refill. Again, I will show you the item numbers for this hack at the end of this video. So you just get rid of that for a minute. Well, set it off to the side, and then let's ink this ink pad. It will take a fair amount of ink. It will not take this entire ink refill, so don't just load it up like that automatically. Okay, here's what I like to do. I like to get a good layer down there and then bring in an old discarded gift card and start moving the ink around, kind of moving from the outside to the inside just so that I don't run it over the edge. Okay, once I do that, I can see that, oh, and you always have to wear a little bit. I'm going to use the chamois to clean this off. And just so I can set it down and clean my nail at the same time. There we go. Okay, once you have done that, you can see a little bit better, like, okay, it can still take a fair amount of ink. Now you don't want to over ink it or it will start coming out into the plastic compartment, and that's not great either. So I would suggest maybe starting lighter than you think you need, and then you can always re-ink it, right? That's what common sense tells us. I don't always have common sense about these things. Okay, now I've gotten a little bit on the edge. I can clean that up later. I'll probably just use a baby wipe to clean up that edge. At least it will start. And now you can see I still have a little bit here on the edge. It is going to seep into there and level out. I think the way to get the best impression after you've inked an ink pad like this or re-inked one of your ink pads is to do everything I've just shown you and then just let it sit overnight. Close it and let it sit overnight. Okay, we definitely want to get the lid back on this. As I said, you can't really see, but I can feel that there's maybe just a quarter of it gone. It's not a fine science. Ink pads also dry out at a different rate depending on where you are storing them, whether you live in a humid or a dry climate, other factors. So it is best to keep them away from the window or direct heat and cooling sources. Now, I'm going to try and clean this up with you right now. Is it going to turn into a mess? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. I worked out. Gee, it looks like I've had to do that once or twice, doesn't it? Okay, now I want to close this for just a minute and show you on the back of all of the ink pads, you have these labels. Don't forget this. They're already made for you, so why would you want to, do all the hard work and label things? This is how they end up looking. And then there's also just a blank one. Now, not that you need to know this, but normally I put the French one in here because I am a bit of a Francophile. So you can choose your language, right? So I have French on the inside and then English. All right, so we can learn. We can all learn. Okay, I want on this one though, I want to take that one that's just all black and I want to put it right here. And I'm doing that because that's my code that this is black memento, not craft white. Because if I put the white on there, of course, I'm going to be very confused. Now, once I do that, I don't have another blank one on this. Actually, I'm thinking of something we could do. I think this is probably overkill, but say you wanted to use that one plain, you could just take a Sharpie. Okay, but I think as long as you have the black label on here, and then when you open it, obviously it looks black. So now this is ready to use. As I said, I would normally let it sit and just equalize, I guess. And so I am going to bring in one that I have made prior, months ago. Okay, so that I can now show you why would we want to do this? Why do we want to change this out in the first place and make a new ink pad when we have this one that's perfectly good? Well, the obvious first answer is the size of it. Okay, this is more like 2 of the regular ink pad. And so when we are inking things up, it's very nice to have a bigger surface, of course. But then I think to me, the most important part is that the impression is so much better. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to use a photopolymer stamp, So Many Candles. This is from an upcoming stamp set. It is live to demonstrators right now. or goes live to customers on July 1st, 2025. Okay, so I'm going to bring this in. Actually, no, scratch that. Let's do Memento on the Memento, the original Memento pad. Let's do that first. Okay, so I think this certain issue is exemplified or shows off better with the photopolymer stamps. So you can see there's some uneven inking. I've tapped it several times, and if you press down too hard, you actually remove some ink. Okay, so that is how it stamps. It's not bad. We don't hate it, but I think we can do a little bit better. So, well, I didn't really need to clean that. Obviously, it's the same ink, silly. Okay, now when I bring this in, I can just tap evenly like I normally tap, and you can see right on there that it looks better. So let's see how it stamps. Yep. The lines are a lot sharper and the ink is much more even. See that, everybody? Okay, so that's why. And so that is why I haven't really used this ink pad since I made this ink pad, right? So this is our hacked, I guess we can call it hacked. It's our made ink pad, and this is the original. There we go. So you can see it's improved. And it's easier. You just tap through it and then you're good to go. Whereas you have to develop some sort of a technique, kind of a twist and tap, twisting, tapping, looking. Still looks uneven. So now we have a fix for that, right? It's perfect. Like I said, it's a good sign when I make something new and then that's what I use from now on. This is now my Memento ink pad. And now I have a second one to share with my classes when they come here because I've been making them use this one. And so now they have one they can use as well. I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, remember you can get this fun stamp set beginning January 1st or July 1st, 2025, or today in a starter kit or as a demonstrator. And finally, let me bring up the items you are going to need. And this is it, okay? You need to purchase the uninked craft Stampin' Pad. Remember, it will come with the basic white that you can use on another ink pad, plus the Memento refill. That's all. I would love to be your demonstrator. If you live in the United States, please consider shopping with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And now you are all ready to make your own large Memento ink pad. Please enjoy.